What's up, guys, and welcome to episode number 38 of the F1 2019 Noob Career Mode. This one coming to you from the Japanese Grand Prix at the Suzuka circuit. We're having a look through our messages now, and we don't have any R&D that is going to be coming in for this race. Because if you remember back to the last episode, we spent it on the ultimate engine upgrade over there for the turbocharger. Maybe by the end of this race we might put on one of the other ultimate upgrades, or maybe even the major upgrade that's sitting over there on the engine side. We'll have to wait and see how we go at the end of the race here. As we see on the R&D chart, Haas have just accelerated past us. Alfa Romeo bringing no updates to this round either, but it's time for us to get into qualifying here for the Japanese Grand Prix. And we move straight on to qualifying 2 here. Apparently I missed out the whole opening spiel when I was doing the editing process. .343 kilometers an hour coming into the first corner here at Suzuka, into one of the more fun sections, but a section that I seem to be struggling to find a lot of speed in. As you can see, we are on the medium tires to try and get into Q2. Into Q3, sorry. As we make our way to where the bridge is, the only figure of 8 track in the Formula 1 calendar. So we break down to the hairpin, down to first gear, run a little bit wide, which should help us get a little bit more speed for the acceleration. Click up into 8th gear as we head towards Spoon. Down to 5th gear for the first part of Spoon, 4th gear for the second part. Accelerate hard out of Spoon, along the alternate pit straight, through to 130R, flat out 330 kilometers an hour on entry. Down to the slowest braking zone on the track. We come across the line, we activate the DRS, and it looks like that was only good enough for P2 there. We skip forward to the end of qualifying, and myself and Valtteri both qualifying on the mediums. Kimi Räikkönen got the first place, Lucas Weber second. Bottas in P6, myself 7th. Devin Butler making it into Q2, but getting knocked out there. Charles Leclerc also getting knocked out in 11th. It's not very often we see Charles Leclerc getting knocked out here of qualifying. We move on to qualifying 3 now. This was our first run in qualifying 3, and it's the run that we have stuck with. We make our way to the first and second corners. Double apex right-hander. Down the 4th gear. Make our way back up through to 6th gear. 5th gear as we start going through all these left-right combinations. Short shift into 6th gear there, as we had to lift very slightly. Up into 8th, back down to 6th, and then back down to 3rd for the run towards the hairpin. Second gear for the hairpin this time. And now we make our way towards the Spoon curve. Down to 5th gear for the first part of it. Down to 4th gear for the second. And now we make the run to 130R. Only 329 k's an hour that time, heading into 130R. Down into the Casio Triangle, I think it's called. We come out of the final corner, jamming it through the gears. Quickly get the DRS on it. It's only good enough for P2 behind Lucas Weber.
We're all ready for tomorrow's race, but before
we have a look at the results. Lucas Weber with the pole, myself in second, Bottas in third, and Kimi Räikkönen sitting there in P4.
Complete, all that remains is the main event. We'll be live and uninterrupted for the Grand Prix.
We have a look at the updates to the rivalries here, and we have indeed beaten out Kimi Räikkönen, which means we're going to get 250 bonus points here, which you can see on the chart there. 1217 after the end of qualifying. We have a look at the weather before the race. It's going to be all sunshine, so now it's time to get to the grid.
And a very warm welcome to the Japanese Grand Prix, an event that has decided a Drivers' Championship 11 times over the years and has hosted some very memorable races as well. Who can forget Kimi Raikkonen's win from 17th on the grid in 2005, or Kamui Kobayashi's incredible drive to a podium in 2012. And all this will be happening under the watchful eye of Anthony Davidson, who joins me for today's race. And assuming the weather holds, where do you expect to see the action unfolding today, Ant?
Well, most of the time, passing here is limited very much into the final chicane, or maybe down into turn 1 if you get a good run and some assistance from DRS. But if we're lucky, we might see a bit of bravery into the hairpin, a place that Kamui Kobayashi certainly made his own in the 2010 Grand Prix on his way to a very impressive 7th place. And as you say, Crofty, this is all assuming that the conditions hold out. We know how quickly the clouds can come in here at Suzuka, and if they do, all bets will be off.
Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting race. Great work from Lucas Weber yesterday sees him start from pole and a Mercedes alongside. As we continue through the rest of the grid today, we have Bottas, Raikkonen, Sebastian Vettel and Gasly, Perez, Hamilton, Leclerc and Alexander Albon, Magnussen, Giovinazzi, Carlos Sainz and Verstappen. They've taken a grid penalty. Russell, Ricciardo, Devon Butler and Nico Hülkenberg. Norris and Lance Stroll brings the grid to a close. And now it's time to head down to the track.
So as we saw there, quite a few grid penalties taking place there. And we have a quick little look at the strategy. It looks like it's going to be a 50-50 split for the race, with the majority of the time being spent on the soft tyres. And now we're down on the grid. We go to 5 red lights. And we're off and racing after an unusually long hold there. Weber quickly getting the traction down and staying in front of us. It looks like we've got Raikkonen trying to get up on our inside. And it looks like we've had contact with him. The hand goes up in frustration. We get a warning, there's yellow flags behind. We're going to have another look at this. You can see us going through turn 1. Just a little bit of a clip there. I thought I gave Raikkonen enough room, but I guess he wanted a little bit more than what I could give. As we continue on with the lap now. Weber starting to pull away from us in this twisty section here. As we're pushing a little bit too hard, just trying to stay with him. Doesn't look like it's going to work. And now we've still got to worry about Raikkonen, who is right on our tail and closing. Raikkonen's shown that he's definitely had the pace lately to keep up, or at least try and keep up with Lucas Weber, especially at tracks like Spa. As we head out of the hairpin section now along the curved straight, as we head to Spoon Curve, down to 5th gear, and down to 4th for the second part again, just like in qualifying. We power out of Spoon, down the alternate pit straight. As we head towards 130R, we still take 130R flat out. Not as fast as what we did in quali. Raikkonen right on our tail again. As we head into the Casio triangle. Down onto the pit straight now for the first time.
Okay, we're through the start phase. Now let's build
hold on to second place, but we're still with the action. Raikkonen going for the inside move. We push him all the way down as far as we can go to the curb. And we have some more contact with him in turn 1. Yellow flags are out again. And in fact, we've got the virtual safety car this time. We're having a look from just behind us in the far chase version. And again, it's the same move again. He hit the curb there on the inside and come up and hit us. We move on to lap 5 now, start of lap 6, as we make our pit stop. Nice easy pit stop, a 1.952 second stop. Now it's time to see where we filter out in the field. It looks like we're going to be all on our lonesome behind everyone except for Raikkonen.
See these tyres through to the end now.
Raikkonen not only suffering the spin, but also having to go to the pits himself, as we make an outside move on Stroll now at the end of lap 7, going into 130R, sticking with the action here because we've got Lando Norris going a little bit defensive into the triangle. We get the outside move affected on him, and now our next target is going to be Devon Butler, but he pulls off into the pits, making that very easy for us. And the very next lap, lap 8, we're on the back of George Russell. We're going to have a much easier time of getting around him here. Make another quick little outside pass, but we get no one in front of us to try and negotiate. And that's going to bring us up into P6 now for this race. We move on to lap 9 of 13. And we've got some yellow flags in the first sector. Caution's out.
Is out. Reduce speed and maintain a positive delta.
So we're going to go. Lance Stroll's out of this session. As we see Lance Stroll coming out of the pits here. And it looks like he's had contact with a Toro Rosso there. The Toro Rosso has just plucked off his front wheel there. So we're going to have to go back in the replay a little bit here from a different view. We're going to go from behind the Renault here. And it looks like, yeah, he's had contact with the Toro Rosso. I'm pretty sure that might be Devon Butler. We're going to go have a look at the incident thing here. And it was indeed Devon Butler who, in fact, got a 5-second penalty there for contact with Lance Stroll. We move on to the final lap of the race. Lucas Weber far ahead of us again. Absolutely dominating us as what's become the status quo here for the second half of the season. Looks like we've got Vettel trying to chase us down pretty quickly here. But I don't think Vettel is actually going to be able to get close enough to make a move. He might get close enough to think about making a move, but I don't think he actually will be able to make the move as we move under the bridge for the final time. And now into the hairpin for the final time. Take a very wide line there as the tyres have started to go off a little bit here. Around this curved straight for the last time into the spoon. Let's see if we can get a good run through the spoon. We run a little bit wide on the first part of the spoon there. Missed the apex in the second part of it. As we go along the alternate pit straight, heading towards 130R. As we go around 130R very shortly, Lucas Weber will win this race. There it is, with a new fastest lap of the race, just to rub a little bit of extra salt into the wound. We come across the line in P2.
Great drive, great drive. We're really happy with that performance.
Brilliant stuff from Alfa Romeo today. What a superb victory. What do you think it was, Ant, that gave them the edge over the competition today?
Well, I know it's a bit of a boring answer, but the truth is they simply had the best speed package on the day, and a driver who knows how to take advantage of that. It doesn't matter how much time you spend poring over the stats and planning strategies if you can't keep the pace, and our winner today showed they could do both.
Alfa Romeo have been winning fans the world over with their brilliant driving, showing that they're a force to be reckoned with out there on the track. They'll certainly be building on that fan base after today's excellent result.
So there is the podium. You've got Weber, myself, and then the Haas over there of Sebastian Vettel. I actually feel really bad for Sebastian and Lewis Hamilton.
Lucas
They went to
Weber
Haas
takes
when
the
Haas
lead
was
of the
the top
Drivers'
car
Championship.
on the grid.
Now, let's discuss, Ants. Who would
they've
you
been getting
say is a
absolutely dominated,
contender
just like
for driver
myself.
of the day?
Max Verstappen seemed to just effortlessly weave through the other drivers
So
today
see
without
Lucas
a care in
Weber
the
with the
world.
win.
He was definitely my
Myself in
driver of
P2
choice.
there. We scroll
Let's move
down
on
a
to the
little bit further. We
constructors.
can see
It was a
Kimi
tough race for our
Raikkonen
championship leaders
managing to
who
get
lose
himself a
ground at the
ninth
top of the
position.
table. Meanwhile, good work from Racing Point this weekend.
We'll scroll down
who
just a
pushed
little bit further and
themselves
see
further
Valtteri
up the order.
Bottas sitting there
After
in
an event
11th,
like
so
that,
that's going
who
to be
knows
no
what the
points for
sport has in store
Valtteri
for
on the
us next
board.
time. Be sure to join us again as
Scroll
we
down a
continue to
little
bring
bit
you the
further here.
latest
We can see
excitement
George Russell
in
with
Formula
a
1.
15th place finish, finishing where he started, and Devon Butler all the way down in last on the track with his 5-second penalty for his contact with Stroll. Gotta go have a quick look at the standings, and Lucas Weber has overtaken us by 1 solitary point in the fight for the championship run. And it looks like we've got Lewis Hamilton sitting up there in third as well. We have a look at the constructors. And we hold on to a slim lead over Alfa Romeo still, but we're going to definitely have to pick up our game as we go on to check out the Rivalry updates now. And again, we have absolutely dominated Kimi Räikkönen, and it looks like we're definitely building game on our teammate again. We've got 1,610 resource points to play around with. So we're going to go and have a look at what we can do to try and improve this car. Now we've only got these 2 ultimate upgrades and then the 1 major upgrade left pending over here on the engine side of the tree. And I'm pretty sure that I really want the fuel economy of this ultimate upgrade. But in saying that, if I go for just the major one, I could probably get that in for the exact same time as the other ultimate, but we definitely went for the ultimate fuel upgrade here. So maybe we could go for the major upgrade, or maybe even the other ultimate upgrade to try and wrap up the season with, and try and boost our confidence going into the final round. But guys, this is going to end off this episode. Thank you guys for coming out and having watched. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. And if you haven't done so yet, make sure you go back through and have a look at the previous episodes through the F1 2019 Noob Career Mode playlist. And until the next episode, where hopefully we can get our act back together and get back to the top of the championship fight, I will see you guys next time.